Shalom, family. Glory be to God, and blessed be the Lamb. Glory be to God, and blessed be the Lamb. May we have a moment of silence for Hamas leader and negotiator, Ismail Haniyeh. May the may all of the people who love him dearly hearts heal quickly. We're at war. There's a time for everything. Unfortunately, there's no time to be sad. The war continues. Shalom, family, again. You know, they are calling us imposters now. They're calling us imposters. They're saying that those of us who say we should not take part in a system of politics, an electoral system that does not benefit us, are imposters. He said that we are imposters because some of us have suggested don't vote at home, vote the couch. Others are voting for the Democratic opposition. It is the Democratic Party who are calling us imposters. What were we last time? Robots. Robots. 3, 4 years ago, we were bots. They say that he says that he can prove that the Democratic Party have done a lot of things for black people, but he keeps using black people and African American interchangeably, but he's sneaky with it. This is from a black man, of course. I've always wondered, out of their mouths, what is black, what is African American, what is Negro? That's why I told ourselves we should adopt the term Negro. We know for sure no one's coming over there. Not the black and not the African American. They're not coming anywhere near the Negro. Not the term or not the people. It's what they spend a few generations trying not to do. And they succeeded. And they succeeded, which is not a problem. I keep saying that this is not a problem at all. And we're winning. We're winning in terms of when you hear words like imposter, that means we're outsiders, strangers, by the millions. And it also means that if there is an imposter, then there is one that is not an imposter, and that would make them them. See, unwittingly, he's exposing himself and them. This is a lawyer. Someone who's keen on words. He knows how to use words. He thinks about every word out of his mouth, as a matter of fact. But then one of the first things he says as evidence of all that the Democratic Party have done for African American women, no, for black women. He, in his same breath, he says that the African American woman, but you just said black woman, but the African American woman have made inroads over the last 40 years, and it's the most dependent or strongest political political base that is in the Democratic Party, which he's not lying. He's not lying about that. You know, sometimes we can paint the target on our back, and in most cases, I see the target and I won't shoot because I know that somebody run by you and you slap the target on your back. You don't even realize it's there. So it ain't your doing. I can see the difference. It's a little bit crooked. But when you put the target on your own back. So let us let us explore this. Let us explore this. We do know that he's not Negro. We do know that there is a possibility that either he's black or African American. We also know that if we don't vote and take part in this political, I want to say it's a process, but actually it's not. It's a theater that actually produces nothing for the Negro masses, then I'm an imposter if I don't take part in it. I'm also an imposter, and I'm going out on a limb on this one. I'm going out on a limb. As a black man and as a Negro man, I'm going out on a limb. That the black man should respect the fact of his sister, his daughter, his wife, his grandmother, or whatever it may be, reaping the benefit of the Democratic Party while he himself gets zero. I'm just pointing this out. So we're not surprised that she, as a subset of the population, black or white or Hispanic or anything else, once you remove the race of it, it's just someone simply voting their pocketbook. They get benefits from the Democratic Party that the black man does not. But hey, so does the Hispanics and every other immigrant. So do white men. It comes built in. So does the Jews. That's automatic. So why is it so volatile to say such things? Because here's a real reason why. They spent a lot of time destroying and separating black men from women to the point now that the black woman as a whole has very little political influence or argument or capital to be expended via the black male. I said all of that to say something hood style. She can't tell us shit. See, that horse left the building. And that's okay too, because this is America. This is how it should actually go. Now, back to this imposter thing. I could see how you would think that we would be a imposter if you have convinced yourself due to your ability to be successful in a world of white supremacy, where they even today they'll denigrate you while you're standing there in your nice suit and your $1,000 shoes. Okay? And you have to take it. So you have generationally done this, meaning it started with your grandpappies and your grandpappies and your grandpappies and them grandpappies who were weak as hell, and rather than go to war or to fight with the field Negroes, they had decided to do everything but that, up to and including etc. Dot dot dot. Now I've done that for a purpose. It's because I'm not trying to get personal. It ain't that we don't know. What you do is you do. I mean, it's generational. What I'm saying is that you, as the African American, have as much of a life experience as the Negro is zero. You have the life experience of an African American, not a Negro. Here's an example. Negroes typically are impoverished. We know hungry. We know lights off. We know gas off. We know that we don't have money to buy food and clothing. We know this as an experience. We also know how it feels to get shot in the face like Miss Massey, in which no African American politician has said one word about it. Ain't that something? It's because they're not heard. And if they say something about it, then they would offend their masters. All African Americans have a master. But back to this imposter thing. We're separating. This is magical. If we are imposters, that means that you recognize that we are different from you. Different. That we are one step closer to where we want to be. Complete separation from you. You guarantee the Democrat your vote. Vote blue no matter who. And that's fine. But you get something from the system, vis-a-vis your history of your parents being what they were. In other words, you come from a long-ass line of sellout-ass Negroes. You just don't want to admit it. And then you seem to suffer from detachment issues. Okay? Because just like the population at large, you really don't produce anything either in terms of art or entertainment. No, you produce things for yourselves, as in your music. Should I call it out by name? Okay, then I won't. Okay, such as what passed for BET. Okay, I mean, what do you want me to? Such as how Miss Harris's meeting up in Atlanta went, a rally. Did you see it? That's all African American culture. Okay, you've done quite well for yourself in this sea of white supremacy. Quite well for yourselves. We don't bode you that. No one's saying that they envy or they want what you have. No, we're saying you don't speak for us. You don't listen. Have you not heard? There's a big booming voice in the sky. It is speaking. Does not the sheep know the voice of their master? Are you their master? We know you're not because you have to use a microphone. Their master would never have to use a megaphone. Not at all. You see, you know what I'm trying to tell you. You're on your own in this. And then he said that we would never get reparations until we get the right people out of 535 members of Congress to support it. Dude, we gave up on that 30 years ago. No one speaks of actions of Congress. We speak of reparations. You speak of actions of Congress. No. Did you not hear? We are not depending on the actions of Congress or the Senate or the U.S. government. In fact, they're going to want to give them to us when we finish separating from you. Because here's the deal. I'm going to speak for them. I'm going to just go way out here a little bit. White boy ain't gonna never tell you this, so I'm gonna say it for me being one of them diverse ass niggas and shit. I figure I can at least ease a little bit out here on the limb. A couple of things you should know. Things you should know. Number one, if you think that the white man has not noticed that you will sell your own out without thinking, if you had the chance, you would also sell him out. You think that he ain't thought about that shit? Well, he has. That's why he doesn't invite you to the family barbecue. He'll invite me, but you, never. It's on principle and survival. You know this is true. You know this is true. Hmm. See, something else you should know. This would also be a tremendous help to what we're doing over here. If you keep doing what you're doing, calling us names like imposter, if that works for you, it works for us. As long as you can count the imposters up, and we can count up the non-imposters. That's why all we really want is a head count anyway. That's all we really want is a head count. If you want to call us imposters, then we're imposters, okay? I'm not offended by that. Not at all. But there is a psychological theory that those who would call people terms like imposter, usually it's because you are the imposter. Okay? That's been found out. And I don't know what took so long. I've been saying it since I was 19. What? No, since I was 18 years old. That these niggas here is strange. They say it. We don't care, and I'm not going to do that because, again, that would include me using insulting language and profanity and things that are demeaning. That's not what I want to do today. I want to educate this gentleman and the masses. If you want what you have, then you have to make sure that every African American votes. Stop worrying about the black vote because we're really confused. First you say black, and then you say African American, then you say African American, and then you say black, talking about the exact same group of people, your group of people. So we are confused anyway. So we no longer listen to you, okay, until you figure this shit out. When you figure it out, we will know because you will no longer talk like that. You will settle on one term or the other, like we settle on Negro. Okay? Because we know that your black ass ain't coming nowhere Negro. If you do that, the game's over for you. We know that. It's game over for you. You're going to lose a whole lot of stuff. A whole lot of stuff that you love dearly, more than you loved your own people and history and culture and language. You even disrespected mama about. But it's okay too to get a little piece of what white supremacy allows you to have. That is a fact. You have not earned anything. It was given to you. Sort of like Miss Harris was given the nomination. No process, just given. And by the way, while we're on her, you know how they saying that she got there, that 1,400 black women got together and demanded that she be there. Now that's an argument for a whole nother audio. But they've earned that. Again, we do not besmirch you African American power. We want none of your power. We want you to separate with your power from us. And we'll separate and be powerless over here as we fight for power from a brand new position. So we can see clearly who we're shooting at. Okay, rather than us walking by the enemy soldier, or maybe not the soldier, say, okay, is that one of them or is it one of us? I don't know, but just in case, I'm gonna have my gun on me. See, we tired of that. So you got to separate. You have to separate, and you will, and you've already taken the first steps. I suspect that you will take further steps as desperation sets in. Here's what you're desperate over. If Miss Harris loses, you lose. Donk. So what you're really concerned about is your loss of prestige and political power, your six-figure incomes, and your promises that's been kept and those unkept and favors. You're worried about all of that stuff. You're not concerned about us as the Negro. Else you would not tell us that we have to convince over half of 235 members to support reparations while the other half fight tooth and nail in every political method they can think of to deny it. And you'll be right there in the House chambers voting, screaming and shouting like you've been doing since Barbara Jordan, and we'll still have nothing. And you will proceed to get over it. And you will proceed to do the wishes of the Democratic Party, not of even yourself. Most definitely not of the people. So, this is how it is. This is the new reality. The central question is this: who will they listen to? Millions, couple of million, a couple of million African Americans, or will they be listening to the big booming voice in the sky? Which will it be? Time will tell. Time will tell. But the big booming voice in the sky is saying, separate, come out of her, get the fuck away from them, get them away from you. And here you are screaming some variation of togetherness, like we are responsible for your future livelihoods. You can do nothing for us. You can't. You are man, listen, you are incompetent. You are impotent to do anything that would help us. You have been neutralized. Okay? Neutralized. Of what the benefit are you to the Negro masses? The short answer is zero benefit. Zero benefit. But like I said, we are on much better terms now, because now you see who you are and you see who we are. And you see the difference, and you are acknowledging it. You acknowledge it. So, shall this go peacefully, or shall it go how it has historically went? You do know what I mean by historically. By historically, I mean that, generally speaking, historically, when there is a people and there is a subset of people within that people that has done what you did, but you won't call it that, betrayal of their own in favor of the invader, in favor of the colonialist. In this case, the slave catcher, in support of a genocidal system, then bad things happen. So let me give you a brief, and I do promise you brief history lesson. Brief history lesson. I'm going to take you back to say 1950. Right around in there. You know, this is a pause, B, because I wanted to get this history right. Okay? This is a pause that my editor will clean it all up. Don't you worry. It won't sound like this. Think about it. In Cambodia, under the Khmer Rouge, it's before your time, but not too far, they had the same problem. They were invaded by Western forces, and a lot of their people laid it down and went to play on the side of the Western forces. When the Western forces were forced out, they had to leave all of those people there. What do you think happened? You guessed it, they killed every last one of them. All of them. Historically, they have a field of bones. There's acres of nothing but hills of human bones. Okay? Look it up yourself. Let's fast forward a little bit. Let's fast forward a little bit. Vietnam, same scenario. American forces went there under the terms of keeping the peace and wound up in a shooting war with the Vietnamese. Split the country in half, blase, blase, blase. What I'm trying to say is that eventually, once again, the Western forces were forced out, leaving all of their friends. I would besmirch the Vietnamese about the type of friends that they keep company with, but not tonight. But they left them there, and after helicopters were flying away, they were running and screaming, "Please take me with you. Please take me with you." They did not take them with them. Does anybody know what happened to them? You guessed it. They killed every last one of them. Now, shit gets better. Shit gets better because by the time you get to say Afghanistan, well, they done the same thing. They at least tried to go back and get their interpreters and their friends. Most of them died there, and they knew that they were going to die under Taliban rule. They went to hunt them down. One fellow tried to ride the airplane like a horse. He was so full of fear. Didn't want to be left there. I shit you not. He fell off the airplane at 15,000 feet, I think, with a 1,500. Either way, he tried to ride the airplane. Ain't that fear something? That knowledge of I know I fucked up, and if they find me, they gonna kill me. I supported foreigners in the murder of my own. They're gonna kill me. I gotta ride this airplane. And he did. And it killed him. What happened to the rest of them? You guessed it. They killed every last one of them. Let's have another example before we wrap this up. One that's more vivid and that some of the perpetrators are still walking around today. Okay? Rwanda. The Tutsis was of one tribe, and the Hutus was of an entirely different tribe. Well, British forces came in, Western forces once again, man, what is wrong with you? Western forces once again came in and they support one group over the other. Well, I think it was the Tutsis who they supported, or was it the Hutus? It was the Hutus who they supported. And they made up all of the police officers and the bureaucrats and the secretaries and the taxi drivers and the people who own cars and homes. They were just showing out. Well, shit got hot. It's hard to say why, but the British felt like we have to leave like in a hurry because them goddamn Tutsis is over here and they are killing everybody, especially tall people and white people. They were going around with fucking machetes and AK-47s and saying, chop down all the tall trees. The tall trees were the Hutus. Bless their heart. And they spent weeks, I mean weeks, hunting them down and murdering them. and murdering them. And then they got merciful. They was gonna kill all of their children, but I think it was a priest that said, "Now that's too far. Hold them up. That's too far. This is where we got to draw the line." And so what they did is they chopped off the left arm, or no, chopped off the right arm of all of the children. Now, why did I say all of that? Because you can type in Rwanda and images, and you will see a bunch of people in their 50s and 60s, late 40s, running their ass around with one chicken wing. Those were their children. They were left that way as a reminder of what not to do. And you didn't get the message. So my question is, when will they hunt you down, sir? On what day? What year? Seems to be that you have to play your cards very close to the vest. One wrong move, and you could find yourself surrounded by Negro masses with no buyer and no defender. So do yourself a favor before all this stuff happens. Just separate from us. You don't speak for us. Vote for who you want to. Vote your pocketbook. Vote your personal political interest. Sort of like white supremacist. Okay? Enjoy the rest of your evening.